Hey guys, it's me, Seren. Back with another video for you. This one is kind of funny to me. This one's more of a PSA, public service announcement, than anything else. Um, this story hasn't really gained a lot of traction yet, so you guys may not have heard of it. The story just kind of broke yesterday, Tuesday. It's Wednesday. Jezebel ran an article on a piece that the LA Times ran yesterday about cornrows. The piece was about, the hottest new trend, the hottest new fall trend for hair, which, as we already know, baby hairs is like one of the big trends. And another one, the mainstream fashion world has decided, is cornrows. So as you can see, I have dreads. Growing up, I had cornrows. I never really saw white people with cornrows, but LA Times has decided that cornrows are the new hot thing for white girls and for white women. And kind of following in the footsteps of the Vogue article with the big old butts and the big booties, they kind of give a brief history, if you will, of cornrows, and, they talk about what makes cornrows, different now. And they interview a white male hairstylist named John. What's his last name? John Raymond. John Raymond. They interview him, and he says a ton of really racist stuff. Cornrows are moving away from urban hip hop to more chic and edgy, which what does that immediately infer? That hip hop is neither chic nor edgy. It's urban, which you've already discussed, racialized language for black. And he's basically saying that black people can't be chic or edgy because we are urban and hip hop. Which in the Jezebel article, she says that he's directly contrasting things that are urban, which is often a code word for black, with style, elegance, and creativity. And then he kind of goes on, just one cornrow or a couple on the side is really cool as opposed to a head full, which, as we know, black people tend to wear a whole head full. But they have to be on the right person with the right clothing. Which is offensive, right? That's racist, right? Like, you're basically saying that something that black people created, cornrows, doesn't look good on black people, that it's not chic, it's not edgy, and it's not fashionable. It doesn't become those things until you put it on a white person, maybe one or two, a couple on the side. And he references Alexander McQueen and Kristen Stewart, who have been, seen with one or two, kind of edgy cornrows on the side. They reference one of the Jenner girls. Marie Claire got into some hot water for describing her cornrows as new, because this is something white people really haven't seen before. So basically this article is, it's about culture vultures. It's about white appropriation. It's about white privilege. It's about taking something from minorities, from black people, from people of color, putting it on a white person, calling it something different, and calling it better. Saying that there's an inherent superiority when you put it on a white person than in its, original urban and or hip hop and or blackity black state. That's not the main issue that I'm going to discuss in this video, because we all know mainstream media has been on a nice little racist tangent. It's been like another day, another racist video from mainstream media. And a lot of the commenters on the Jezebel article noticed that as well. And that's what this video is going to be about. One person left a comment saying, I honestly don't even have the energy to do anything but laugh. I think people are purposely trolling black people for rage clicks. What is the name of this video? Hipster racism and trolling for rage clicks. And in the beginning of the Jezebel article, which I will link, she starts off by saying, I feel like white people are trolling us. And I've read similar sentiments in other articles, and I kind of hold similar sentiments myself. You guys have seen me say in other videos. I'm not going to link it because I don't want you guys to click it and give them clicks. There's kind of a general consensus that the mainstream media is trolling. I'm sure you guys know what trolling is, but for anyone that doesn't know, trolling is when a person, typically online, writes outlandish things, obviously incorrect, obviously racist, obviously antagonizing. They just write outlandish things for attention, and kind of get in arguments and to kind of just like feel like they're getting the best of people. It's for fun, you know. They can look at the reactions that people get and kind of like, haha, look at that, you know, I made that happen. I made that person pissed, or, you know, whatever. They're trolls. A lot of websites now have like a no trolling policy, you know, because people start like troll wars in the comment section and all kind of things. And a lot of people feel like these mainstream media outlets, Vogue and LA Times and the New York Times, with these blatantly racist and disrespectful articles, are trolling. They've figured out that when you put up a not even mildly offensive, but a blatantly racist and offensive article, it's going to pick up speed, right? It's going to gain traction, and then it's going to spread like wildfire. They're beginning to understand the importance of Black Twitter, Black Tumblr, Black YouTubers, and the power that, you know, we as Black people are really gaining on social media. And what does that mean in terms of money? How can they monetize that? Well, you know, one of the number one ways you get money is, you know, through ad revenue, through clicks. As soon as someone clicks on your website, you make $1 or $5 or however much, you know. So they kind of picked up on that when they print offensive articles and it's shared on Jezebel and it's shared on Black Twitter, they're probably going to get so many hits. You know, that Vogue article on big butts probably got more hits in one day than the rest of Vogue's articles on regular Vogue shit combined, because so many people went to their site to go look. And in my video that I made about Vogue articles, I linked using a do not link, which is a website that sends you to the website, but they don't get your clicks, they don't get your revenue. And definitely from now on in the future, if I do decide to link back to original articles, I will be using do not link, because, you know, it's like a catch-22. They've realized that when they write these offensive articles, they're going to get paid, you know, they're going to get hundreds of thousands of clicks. And that's good, you know, especially in a time where print journalism and even online journalism and magazines, fashion magazines are really going out of business. They're really being put out of business by the blogs and the street style photographers and things like that. They figured out a way to generate clicks, to generate hits, and to generate money with these offensive articles that are going to get tons of traction and tons of hits for a day or 2 days or a couple of days or a week. And then they're going to kind of fade away. And what this is an example of hipster racism. Hipster racism is kind of like, you know, diet racism, which I've talked about, subconscious racism, you know. These are people that are completely self-aware, that know what they're doing is wrong. They know what they're doing is offensive, and they're doing it anyway. They're trolling. They have a kind of a smug, you know, they get a smug satisfaction out of saying, you know, racist and offensive things and seeing the reactions that people get. So this is that hipster bitch that sits next to you in a party and says, oh my God, did you grow up in Harlem? And you're like, are you asking me that just because I'm Black? You don't even know if I'm from New York, bitch. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's the person that sits next to me and sees that I have dreads and says, oh my God, I love your hair. Can I touch it? I always said that when I reached a certain age, I was going to get dreads. I had a grown woman, white woman, walk up to me in the library and say that to me. She said, I always told myself that when I turned 35, I was going to dread up my hair, and I love your hair so much, and can I touch it? And, you know, I'm 32 now, so I'm creeping up on it, and are you a Rastafarian? You know, do you believe in this and that? And I'm thinking in my head, like, you don't even know me. You're, like, walking up to me with all these, like, stereotypical, you know, opinions and questions about my hair just because I have hair. Like, what if this is just an aesthetic choice, you know? You wouldn't walk up to a white girl with, you know, curly hair. You don't know if her hair is naturally curly. She might perm it. She might curl it with a curling iron. Like, she might roller set it. Like, you don't know. But you walked up to me and said it. That's hipster. And you did it in a way that you thought was, like, cool. Because you're, like, cool. You're, like, a cool hipster. You're, like, self-aware, you know, with your fedora. And you might have a Black girlfriend or a Black boyfriend or Black friends, you know. These are the people that think it's okay for them to say nigga because all their friends are Black, you know. All my friends are Black and all I listen to is rap music. It's fine if I say nigga. They say it's cool. These are hipster racists. This is hipster racism. It kind of hides under this, like, you know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you know, shits and giggles. You know, we all know what I'm doing. I'm trolling. Ha ha, you know. and refuses to take any responsibility. You know, my last video I talked about accountability. Alessandra Stanley is a perfect example of that. And someone also left a comment on the Jezebel article saying, you know, something similar, that, you know, these mainstream publications hire these young, you know, early, you know, we'll just say 20s, you know, early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, maybe early 30s, you know, fresh out of college, you know, they've traveled the world, they've done this, they've done that. They're hipsters, they think they're cool, and they know everything about everything. These mainstream publications hire these white people, white women as well as men, that feel like they have some type of, you know, thumb on the pulse of culture, which at the moment is black culture. And these people are self-aware, and yet they feel like, you know, they have the right to say these things and not be accountable, you know, and just say, well, I know all about racism. I didn't intend to be racist, so it's fine. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Throw my hands up in the air. No accountability. You know, right, you know, Alessandra Stanley said in her article, I'm known for using inflammatory statements to open my articles. So basically, she admitted to being a troll, right? Like, I'm known for starting my articles with racist, sexist, homophobic, problematic leads to get your attention, to get you to read the rest of my article. You know, she said once you got past the first 140 characters, you would have realized that my article was majorly positive, you know, and I blame that on the Twitter sphere and this culture of Twitter to only read the beginning. And then it's like, well, but that's what you wanted when you wrote the piece. You gave the piece an inflammatory lead to get people's attention, right? The first 140 characters of your piece was deliberately inflammatory to get those clicks, to get those rage clicks, to get that attention to your piece and to get you that money, right? Hipster, racism, trolling for rage clicks. And then you get to say, no, but I went to this school, I went to that school, I grew up with that person, I grew up with this person, you know. It's all journalism, it's all jokes, you know. Shane Dawson, comedian who's catching a lot of flack right now, he just had a movie come out called Not Cool, which is getting slammed by the critics for being racist, sexist, homophobic, and offensive. He's a YouTuber. He has some videos where he portrays black people in blackface, Wendy Williams and stuff like that, you know. He's hiding behind the guise of, it's comedy, it's humor, it's funny, you know. Again, hipster racism. We all know what blackface is. We all know that it's inappropriate. However, you know, we know it's going to get attention. If you want YouTube clicks, you already know dressing up as Wendy Williams in blackface is going to get you 100,000 YouTube clicks, you know, and if you're a partner with YouTube, you're going to get paid. That's money in the bank. That's money in your pocket. And then all you get to say, you don't have to make any type of formal apology. You don't have to say any type of I was wrong. All you have to do is throw your hands in the air and say, I never intend to be racist. I never meant to hurt anyone's feelings. Poor me. Poor white me. Everyone's ganging up on me. This isn't fair. Everyone knows it's just an article. It's just video. It's just comedy. You know, I'm friends with black people. I listen to 2 Chainz. Hipster. Racism. You're still a racist. You're not wearing a white hood. You're wearing a fedora, but you're still harboring racist thoughts. You're still perpetuating racist stereotypes. And you're still creating racist content for attention, for money, you know? So you know, like I said, moving forward, I'm not going to link to any more of these inflammatory articles. I'm still going to make videos about it because I'm never going to get to the point where I just throw my hands up in the air and say, well, that's just how they are. You know, it's not that serious. They just want attention, because I feel like people need to know, you know, my viewers and anyone that may not have heard, you guys need to know what's happening, you know. This low-key, insidious, hipster, subconscious racism, it's really real and prevalent, and people are trying to, you know, make this the new normal, like, oh, it's okay, you know, like, oh, it's fine, you know, like, it's not that big of a deal. It is a big deal. You know, don't click their sites, don't support their movies, don't support their shit, don't put money in their pockets, otherwise, you know, you're probably a racist too. You're probably supporting a racist, you know? And I got into it, addendum, before I end my video, I got into it with this black girl on Tumblr because she tried to tell me that she likes Shane Dawson, she's a fan of his, and she's black, and what he's doing is okay. First of all, just because you think it's okay, you don't get to speak for, like, all of us. I'm also black, and I didn't think it was okay. I thought it was offensive. And just because you're black too doesn't mean you have the right to tell me it's fine and try to like police my feelings and regulate my feelings. It's not fine. You may have thought that what he said about Wendy Williams and blackface was funny. You know, there have been people saying like, oh, well, why does it matter if a white person tells a racist joke? Like, black people tell jokes about other black people all the time. We're all black. We can also all say nigga. Like, white people can't say that, and they're never going to be able to say that. They had their time saying that when they were slave masters, and they were throwing the word around willy-nilly. Like, just because you like someone, I'm sure Alessandra Stanley has her fans. She's a chief television critic at the New York Times. I've probably read one of her pieces because I watch a lot of TV. I'm sure she has her fans as well of all different races. That doesn't mean that they can be excused from this brand of racism that they're peddling, that they're selling. They're literally selling it. They want you to click, to put money in their pockets, to pay them for racism. So you just really have to be aware of what you're reading, what you're clicking on, what you're tweeting, retweeting, tumbling, Instagramming, consuming, all of it, you know. If you want to talk to Alessandra Stanley directly, look up her Twitter and talk to her on Twitter. You know, if you want to talk to John Raymond directly, he has a Twitter, he has an Instagram, he has a website. Contact them directly. Vogue has a Tumblr where you can like reach them. They have a Twitter, you know. All these things, you can reach them in all these different ways without having to literally click on the articles and put money in their pocket, because that will just be, you know, hurting us all in the long run, in my opinion. You know, of course, these are all just my thoughts and my opinions. So, yeah, just, you know, be aware. It sucks. It's hard because, like I said, it's the catch-22. You feel like if you let it go, of course, you're not spreading, you know, the vile, disgusting message, but at the same time, you're kind of giving your explicit consent that it's okay, that it's funny, that it's fine, you know. And Vogue clearly did that on purpose because they still have yet to issue any type of retraction, you know. The New York Times, in that piece they ran on Shonda Rhimes, the author has actually given a response. You know, the chief editor has given a response, which I've linked to. When Marie Claire got into their little fervor about the Jenner girl, they deleted the tweet and issued an apology. And then you have ones like Vogue and the LA Times that haven't said a word. You know, they're still tweeting, you know, it's business as usual. And that lets you know, like, they're trolling. They want our attention. They want our money. Don't give it to them. Don't give them the satisfaction. If you don't entertain trolls on the internet trying to engage you and make you angry, we can't engage trolls on a mainstream media level. That's Fox News. That's Bill O'Reilly. That's anyone, because we're just giving them power over us. And we have to really start, and that's myself included, because shit makes me angry. As you guys know, shit pisses me the fuck off. And I have to chill as well, you know. So yeah, if you know any hipster racists, fuck 'em. Thanks guys for watching. As always, food for thought. Let me know what you think in the comments. To everyone that has been watching and commenting, mwah. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. All right. See you next time. Bye.